Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, or depends on where you're at. We are in the office, in the grow room. We're going to water our microgreens this morning, and I wanted to hop on, do maybe a little planting with you. We can check on the ones that we took out of germination yesterday morning. What's good, all y'all coming in? Good to see you. Hopefully you guys are having a great day so far. And yeah, looks like people are just kind of flowing in here. What is good? So check us out. We're gonna plant some today. We're gonna do some 10 by 10 trays, right? So we've got these little 10 by 10 trays. These are super cool from Bootstrap Farmer. I love these trays. They're so, look at this. Let me see how, look at how strong they are. They're a nice, solid, strong plastic. So check it out. You've got the one with the holes, right, for your top tray to put your soil in and your seed. And you've got your bottom tray to just put together like that. Super nice. I like this size for certain varieties. It's nice because we're not growing too many. But yeah. I figured what we could do is make up some trays. If you'd like, would you like to see how I put the soil in the trays and kind of, pack the trays down, basically called making the tray. We'll make the tray together if you want to see that. I can kind of move you over here so you can see a little bit better. But first, let's get watering the microgreens that we have on the rack so far. So we're going to take these guys right here. Look at these beautiful. Look at how beautiful. It's almost as purple as the tray. All right, yes, you want to see it. All right, so cool. What we'll do is we'll get planting, but first let's do some watering. So let me see if I can roll my counter back so you can kind of see. This is what it is every morning, right? Real quick, doesn't take long. If you're into drinking coffee or tea, this could be something you do while you're making your tea, while you're waiting for your water to boil or waiting for your coffee to brew. Come water your plants. Or maybe you've just got your coffee or your tea. Come in, drink some coffee or tea while you water your plants in the morning. So nice. So we're just going to do those. Now here, look at, I'm not sure who is here that was here yesterday, but we took these out of germination yesterday. These are which ones are these? Can any of you guess? What are these ones right here? Let me know. Type it in the chat. Look at how much they're springing over the top of the tray. Not very many. Look at those. What are these? What are the steps after you put the seeds in wet paper towel and put them in a fridge for a few days? Well, now that's a certain way you could do for germination. The next steps after that would be to plant them in soil. That is a way that you could germinate some seeds. I have a little different practice here for germinating seeds. I don't do the paper towel method, but really after they've sprouted in the fridge, yeah, that's when you could just basically go and plant them in the soil. Look at here, someone says pea sprouts. Pretty close, pretty close. These are sunflower, right? Black oil sunflower. Oh, thank you, appreciate it. Got the curls out, just got a shower in, feeling nice and good, nice and fresh. Look at these babies right here. Look at how purple those are. These here are the purple radish. Love the purple radish. They're beautiful. They taste amazing. These ones here, the 10 by 10, I just give like a half a cup of water. Just a little tiny bit of water, right? So really quick and easy to do this. Doesn't take long. If you've got kids, maybe this is one of their morning chores you set them up to do, right? Look at that. These are ready to go. These ones here, this is a kale trio. Let's see, what are you guys saying here? Passion Lord says, those are delicious. They sure are. They sure are. Nice. That's our next adventure. My kiddos want sunflower micros. Nice. Your kids are even asking for it. That's cool. Get it going on. Have them plant them. Have them plant them. That way they build the relationship with wanting to do it and they get excited. No soil. We're going to do some soil. These do have soil in them. Okay, so what's up, Stacy? Urban Pharmacy says, okay, I'm currently sprouting sesame. Ooh. Have you ever had them? No, I haven't. I have not. Hey, what's up, Chris? Vegan Sheepdogs in the house? Looking good, he says. No, Stacy, I've never done sesame. That is an interesting one. Yep, I did read that right. Sesame. No, I've never sprouted sesame seed. That's a pretty cool one. That's funny because I've never even thought of sprouting sesame seed. Look at these ones. Another tray of radish because we like the radish. We could have gone in a 10 by 20 for those, but I did end up planting one a little bit the next day. Look at here. What are these ones? Someone named it just a little while back. We pulled these out of germination yesterday. Look at how much they've sprouted up. They were barely peeking over yesterday. Yes, we do have the soil. Do you need certain type of light for them to grow? What kind of food do I feed the seeds besides the water? That's a great question. Realize ain't nobody. Now, the light, there are full spectrum lights that you can get for your plants. And I would love to eventually maybe invest on one and put one on one tray just to see what it does. What I've got is I've got some Barina LED shop lights, and they were $60 for 12 of them, right? So I couldn't beat the deals. $80 for one sunblaster or $60 for 12 shop lights. And I'll show you here in a minute. They're not very big and they work great. The best light would be natural sunlight, right? If you can put them near a window or something like that, you've got like big windows in your place, that's a great spot. They will do really well just in front of a window. But really, I mean, honestly, any kind of light to extend the amount of light will help them grow. But I mean, I've put some on the windowsill and they've done like almost better than what they do on the rack under these lights because, it's the natural sunlight. I just don't have the space to do these all in front of the window. All right, let's see here. Now for the second part of your question, what kind of food do you feed them? Let me grab the food. Okay. So this is what I feed them. I'm not sure if that's backwards. It might be backwards for you guys. It might be forwards. It says ocean solution. So what this is it's just some minerals. You can just add trace minerals to your water. So I'll do that after a few days. I'll give them, it's 1 ounce or a tablespoon basically. Actually, no, that's wrong. I think there's more than a tablespoon in an ounce. But it's 1 ounce per gallon of water, and that's perfect food. But you don't need food. You don't need anything, just water, because really, after germination, they're only under the lights for 5-6 days. So you don't really need to give them any food. It could just be pure, clean water. That will work fine. And I've grown, these ones here actually haven't had any ocean solution yet. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell the difference between giving them ocean solution and not. Look at these ones. Beautiful purple kohlrabi, one of our favorites. Look at how poppin' they are. So these ones here, we're gonna be ready to cut these here. Like we could start cutting these today, but these will be fully ready here tomorrow. They'll be stretched out a little taller, but look at that crop, man. It is just so thick. Oh, I love it. Okay, so those are done, watered. As you can see, it doesn't take too long, right? Kind of a nice little thing to do in the morning time, I picture. Let me get to your other questions here. I'm just gonna put the water down, and then we'll make some trays together. I'll move you over to a tripod here to where you can see how I make the soils and where I keep the soil. And then we'll pick out some seeds together. Namaste, good morning. I'm gonna do sprouts and microgreens with sesame. Oh, that's a great idea, Stacy. Let me know how that goes. I wanna pick your brain. Get Nate's Alive book, Diane says. Thank you, I appreciate it. Yes, the Alive book is a fun book, just kind of going over the power and the benefits of sprouts and microgreens and stuff that I've researched over the years. And it's like, once you learn this kind of stuff, you just want to start incorporating these sorts of foods into your day-to-day life. It doesn't matter what kind of diet you follow, add more sprouts and microgreens is going to be beneficial. What water are you watering with Any recommendations on grow lights? Okay, so as I move you over to the other tripod so you can see how I make the soil or the trays, because I keep the bin on the ground, I'll show you the lights that I use. And if you want the link to the lights, just DM me, send me a direct message, say lights or lights please, and I'll send you the link to the lights. And I just get them off Amazon. They're Brina, I believe T5 LEDs might be the name. I don't know the exact name, but they've been great. And I know a lot of other growers that use them, so that's why I got them. I've actually gone through, this is my third different set of lights because I have used a few different kinds of lights, shop lights basically, but I like these ones because they're very low profile. They're 4 feet long, so they extend the entire length of the rack that we have in here. And they've been great. They've been really good. They don't put off a lot of heat. They don't take a lot of power. Watermelon Lime, what's on my shirt? This is a company I used to work for. It's a hemp farm in Oregon. RDSP is the name. And so what this is a hemp plant. So it's one of my favorite shirts. I've got a few of them from working there, and just kind of like I feel like kind of like my uniform. I wear these shirts like probably 4 times a week. I'm like, hey, Lissa, thanks for putting up with me being so boring of a dresser. Distilled or RO? So Diane, what I use is reverse osmosis. We use the reverse osmosis because we have that in the kitchen, but regular tap water will suffice. I mean, really, I know a lot of growers that use tap water and they don't have any problem. I've grown with tap water, no problems. Of course, depending on where you're at, when we think about the concepts of the plants taking up what's in the water, we can kind of nerd out and be like, I want to have the cleanest water for my plants because we're going to be ingesting these plants, right? But tap water will work. RO, distilled, that's cool. Distilled and RO have no minerals at all necessarily. It's pretty much sterile water. That's where it's nice to add back in a little bit of minerals. And that's why we do that, is because we have the reverse osmosis. So we'll add in minerals to the water. All right, let's see here. Any other questions? Lights, please. Send me a DM, the Raw Peach. Direct message me. That way it'll be in my requests box, and I try to get to those in the end of the day, and then I'll send you the light link there. It's hard to send it through right here because I need to grab it from my notes, copy and paste. I don't want to mess the link up. So, okay, we are ready. Let's figure out what we're going to plant. And then we'll make up some trays. So this here is what I've got that we put our seeds in, right? It's just a 5-gallon bucket. It's got a lid, screw-on lid. And of course, it's nice. It's got a nice O-ring seal, so it seals up real nice. This is a great way to keep your seeds organized and clean. And, of course, any kind of container, like a drawer, clear plastic container, that works good too, just to keep it kind of organized so there's not these packs of seeds everywhere. So we've got the purple kohlrabi. I've got 1 tray of purple kohlrabi on the rack. Actually, I do have a smaller tray of purple kohlrabi. I might do some more of those because we do go through quite a few of those. And then some more cabbage. Let's do some kohlrabi, some purple kohlrabi, and then the red acre cabbage. That'll be a good one. All right, so we'll slip this back down here. And I'm not sure if any of you know about okay, cool, send me that DM and I'll send you the light link. I'm not sure if any of you know about the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle that's going on right now. If you click the link in my bio, and then it'll lead you to the website, watch the video that's on the page there and see what's inside this Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle. I've created a kitchen course. I call it the Raw Vegan Kitchen Essentials course. So basically all the tools and gadgets that I love and that Lissa and I use on a daily basis, basically built this course to kind of help you if you're looking into adding to your kitchen and what makes making raw vegan meals very efficient and fun and easy. That's a great course to check out. Of course, there's so many, there's 40 different items in this bundle, all brand new. So be sure to check out the website and watch that short video, and you can see what's inside. It's super amazing. Also, there's the live events up in the right-hand corner of the page. You can see the different live events that are happening every single day. So, if you see the topic that someone's talking about, or maybe you want to, you find your favorite person that you want to go see, you can see on there. It's kind of like a little mini festival. It's pretty fun. Realize ain't nobody says, I put my seed in a sealed jar until I grow them. Is that good? Safe for them? Hey, Raw Peach just got the bundle today. All right. Oh my gosh, I'm excited for you. That is going to be an amazing thing. Amazing addition. Double high fives. So for the jar, and downloaded everything already, the Raw Peach says that's the way to do it. Download everything, put it in a special spot. You have all the content forever. So now as far as the jar, I don't feel that sprouting or growing inside of a sealed jar would be the best. There's not any airflow, which of course there could be different pathogens and mold and stuff like that can start to grow in there a bit more easily. I would imagine. I haven't grown with this in a sealed jar, but everywhere that I've ever learned about sprouts growing up and growing sprouts, it's nice to have the ventilation. That's why they have a mesh lid on top of the jar, so the jar, all your sprouts can completely drain and you get a little airflow. So I'm not familiar with growing in a jar. Yeah, but I wouldn't think that it would be better than growing with better airflow. But I mean, who's to say? Maybe it would work good. Will this repost to your YouTube channel later? Would love to watch again and can take notes. Raw Herbivore, I will upload this to my YouTube. I did one yesterday and I haven't uploaded it to my YouTube yet, so I'll make a playlist of this grow along series and put it onto my YouTube, so that way you can watch it while you're driving or doing dishes or whatever you do, right? Not trying to sprout them, they just sitting there until I'm ready to sprout and grow them. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yes, okay, maybe I'm understanding better now. Let me see, where do I have here? I want to grab this jar. There we go. Maybe you're talking like this. You just store your seeds in the jar sealed until you're ready to. That's beautiful. That's the way that I like to do them too. I don't have all of these because we kind of go through them pretty quick. I don't really have all these in the jars, but they do look great in jars. You can see what seed it is. You can even put the little tag. So that's great if that's what you're talking about. Definitely beautiful. Realize ain't nobody. I hope that answers your question. I hope, yeah. Thanks, watching now while schooling my kiddos, so need to focus more later. Oh, excellent. Hey, that's good on you. Teach those kiddos. Hey, from USA, what's up? Hacker. Okay, so, yep, that's the way to do it. Store them in there. Yep, that's how I got them. Okay, cool. That's a great way to store them. Put them in your pantry or your cupboard where it's, they're dry and out of the sunlight. So these are the two seeds that we're going to grow. Let's make up some trays together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab you and I'm going to put you on the tripod over here so you can see how we make these trays up. All right, so here we go. It'll be a little shaky here for a second. I got this tripod kind of set up for us. All right, so here's where I keep the soil, right? It just slips right underneath the rack, really nice. And what we have inside here is just the cocoa core, right? Look at this. It's just coconut fiber, ground coconut husk. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? So there's the soil. Now to make the trays, what I'll do is you don't want a lot of soil. You don't need a lot of soil for your microgreens. Just a little bit will do. And see, we don't have a garden because we live in this high-rise downtown Las Vegas. So we don't have any way to get our hands in any kind of dirt. Now, of course, this is coconut fiber. There's really like no organisms in here at all. So, but it is one way that you can kind of get your hands in the dirt. If you're living in an apartment or something, these are great to grow in your apartment. So we just kind of smooth it out, kind of flatten it out. I like to take the scooper and just kind of give it a little tamping, right? Just kind of tamp it down, just to have it nice and even. This makes for a nice crop where everything is growing really even, because if you have a bunch of divots from your knuckles or your fingers from pushing down the tray, the seeds can pile up. So that's the way I like to do it. You can put another tray on top and kind of push it down. So there's one tray made, right? Now you can see how quick this is. That's another thing I really wanted to try to get you guys excited about doing this, is because it's so fast. It doesn't take hardly any time to get your trays made and to sow your seed. And then they just get a little water each day, and you've got fresh living foods that you're growing yourself to add into any meal that you want. So we'll just get these ones made. Look at there. Yeah, for those of you who are into adding healthier foods, learning new information, adding healthier foods into your day-to-day, be sure to go check out the Raw Vegan Bundle. It's here only once a year. My wife has her brand new hand salads ebook in there that she created, which is super fun. All right, I'm gonna put you back up here. There. What'd you think of that? Casalandra, what is good? It's been a minute since I've seen you. I remember you. It's good to see you. Okay. Don't shake the camera. You make me seasick. I know. I'm sorry about that. Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay, cool. We're right back there. And I just want to make sure I'm getting all your stuff, all your questions. Good morning, all y'all. Okay. Yes, the last grow along. Have you been growing? I want you guys to get growing. Okay, so check it out. Boom, the soil, nice and even, smooth. Now what we're gonna do is let's get some seeds ready. So what I like to use, just to be efficient as I can, is I like to use a kitchen scale to do up my seeds. Now let me see if I can get you angled down a little bit more here. All right, so basically this is it. I have the kitchen scale out. I've got my little containers. I like to weigh the seed out in this container. This is the spoon that I use, a little tablespoon, right? And then I put them in a shaker bottle, and this is how I sow the seed. It's pretty fun, pretty easy. So what I've done is, just to make it easier on myself, is I put all the stats on the bag, right? So this is 20 grams, and this is going to be 3 days with weight on top, and a little 1 day blackout period works best. So instead of 20 grams, we're gonna do 10, because we have a 10 by 10. So I basically wrote this out for a 10 by 20 tray, a bigger tray. And so what we'll do, I'm gonna have to charge my scale. I haven't charged it in over a year. This thing has been amazing. Let's see. We'll get about 10 grams on here. There we go, 10 grams on the button. Right, real quick, look at here. Pour them in the jar, and then we have the shaker bottle. Now we're ready to seed. So check this out, let's see if you can see. Can you see that? Can you see that okay? There it is. Look at how fast, right? Okay, so let's seed up our next tray. Look at here. Look at what I've got. I've got one radish seed. I'll just put it right in the middle. Okay, so let's get our next tray going. And this one here is going to be the purple cabbage. So 17 grams. What's half of 17? 8.5? 8.5 grams? That's what we're going to do. We're going to do 8.5 grams of the purple Vienna. No, sorry, of the red acre cabbage. There we go. 8.5 grams. Let's pour them in the jar. It's just easier. Some people like to seed with their hands, and that's cool. But I like to use the jar here. Okay. Now I'm gonna get to your questions here in just a second. Let's just seed these out here. Look at that. Beautiful. You see that? Now you can see they're not like completely even, like maybe it's a little thicker over here. Not to worry, it's gonna be just fine. But overall, it's pretty darn even. Okay, so now, look at how fast that was. Super fast. We're done. We just made 2 trays of microgreens. All right. So let's water them. But first, let me get your questions in here. Incredible. Jeanette, what is good? Good to see you. Oh my gosh, did you get the shaker jar at Winco? You know, you can get them at Winco. Actually, this shaker jar was from the Everything But the Bagel seasoning, which does have salt in it. So be mindful if you're trying to watch your salt intake. These jars are amazing though. It's a glass jar, and I was like, that would be perfect to shake for the seeds. Because I was just using my hand, just like, you know, sprinkling them out in my hand, and it's just so much easier to get a nice even spread with that jar. But any seasoning jar would work. What kind of soil do you use again? I was going to use Miracle-Gro, but honestly, I don't know. Okay, so I wouldn't recommend Miracle-Gro for the reason that there's certain additives within there that I don't really feel are necessary. But I use Coco Core. What we have in the bin is coconut core. It's called Coco Core. And if you want to know the soil, if you want the link, send me a DM, say soil please, and I'll send you the link to the soil that we use. And it's pure coconut husk fibers. It's very sustainable. You know, it's a great soil to use. Some people do add perlite or vermiculite to it to kind of extend the soil and to hold, you know, to be able to hold a bit more water, but it does really well. And it's cost effective. It's very inexpensive. Now we're only putting about this much soil in the tray, right? Not hardly any soil. They don't need a lot of soil. So you don't have to have a big thick thing of soil, 2 inches full of soil. That would be a waste because they're only under the lights after germination, 3-4 days, 5 days at most. They're under the lights for like 4, 5, 6 days. So really 10 days. And you know, you want to be as efficient as you can and not have to drop a bunch of money on different soils that are unnecessary. How do you remove the labels off the jars? That's a great question, Diane. So what you could do is you could just boil some water and boil the glass jar. Of course, take the plastic lid off, right? Boil the glass jar and then it should just wipe right off nice and clean. You can use a soapy rag or maybe even a Scotch-Brite pad to kind of scrub if you need to. There is stuff called Goo Gone, and that's pretty cool. It's like a citrusy, solvent of some sort, and that works really well too. Goo Gone, if you have some of that. But either one of those tricks should work. Luckily, I believe that the way that label was, we just soaked it in water and it just peeled right off. I love when companies use stickers that do peel off real nice and don't leave a lot of sticky residue. How do you keep your broccoli sprouts in a jar, or do you transfer to soil? How do you keep your broccoli sprouts in a jar, or do you transfer to soil? That's a good one. Okay, so I'm not sure if I'm understanding the question completely right, but for storing the broccoli seeds, we put them in a jar and we put them in our cupboard, right? Or they're in bags and I just keep them in the 5-gallon bucket. So here's where we store all of our seeds. We've got all kinds of different seed varieties in here. So that's one way that we store them. But when it does come time to plant, that's when we add them to the soil. We don't store them, of course, like you store them in a jar, put them in your cupboard, or put them in a container or something until you want to use them. This is a great way to store as well. Just you can put your seeds in a glass jar, right? Keep it in your pantry. We've got a pantry full of all kinds of different seeds that we sprout. We have like 4 or 5 different kinds of lentils and mung beans, because we do a lot of lentils and mung bean sprouts. They're really great sources of protein and all kinds of different minerals. But until we're ready to plant, then we'll seed them on the soil. All right, let's water these here. Soil, yeah, send me a direct message. For those of you who want the lights or anything like that, just send me a direct message and I can send you, I'm working on my master list. I'm gonna redo my catalog so I have pictures of everything in there, so you could just be like, oh, there's the lights, I want those. You know, I work better that way when I see a picture. So I am rebuilding that, but that won't be for like another week before I get to it. But send me a DM and I'll send you the direct link for the soil. How long is the coco coir soil good once you watered it? That's a great question, Zazu. So I have had the soil in there one time. We didn't grow for a couple of months. And I actually had another container, a smaller container with soil that I put in there, and I don't think we messed with it for 6 months. It will last for a long time. I would imagine years. I had 2 containers, one with soil, like planting soil, and one with coco coir. The one with soil started to grow mold, a white fuzzy mold over everything, because there's certain compost in that soil. And with the coco coir, I didn't touch them. I just wanted to see like what they would do for like a year. And the coco coir looked just the same as it did from day one. So that could be good or bad depending, right? Like in your garden outside, you want the planting soil, potting soil. There's other nutrients in there that maybe you want to have that your plants have. But for microgreens, I want them clean. I just want the most efficient kind of soil, inexpensive. And what I have found that works the best is the coco coir. And you can get it at your hardware store. You can order it off Amazon. You can get it at your pet store, because sometimes they use this for terrariums, like the bottom of the terrarium. It's not peat moss. Peat moss isn't as sustainable as coco coir, but this soil, it works amazing, man. It is so, so good. So hopefully that answers your question there. I've heard that it's difficult to sprout in humid weather such as Florida. Is that true? That can be an interesting one. If it is very, very humid, really, microgreens do best in a comfortable environment, kind of like an environment that we like to live in, right? Around 70 degrees, you know, low humidity. Actually, I need to get new batteries in this thing. This thing has been on there for over a year. I got to get new batteries. It just turned off yesterday. So what do we have? A couple AAAs. So what this is it's cool because it tells me the temperature and the humidity level in my room. And what we want to keep our rooms at is anywhere from 30 to maybe 85 would be a lot of humidity. So anywhere from like 30 to 60 is a great humidity level. If it gets too much more than that, it is best. Like if we had that issue here, this is what I would do. I would invest in a dehumidifier and I would plug it in here, and the dehumidifier would run and be pulling moisture out of the air. And, you know, unless I had that actually tapped into a way that I could drain it without having to empty the bucket, that bucket I would have to empty every other day, every day to every other day. I'd have to go empty that bucket of water, and it would pull out the water from the air. So people who do grow in areas that there's a lot of moisture, that's what they do. They use dehumidifiers. And that's, of course, a great way to regulate your environment. Indoor growing is kind of tricky because you do have to create a nice environment that your plants do like, right? Castellandra says, use any oil tub. Oil tub on the sticky part and the half removes the sticker. Yeah, good. Yeah, any oil. That's a great idea. Yeah, right. Use some oil. That's a great way to get the sticky off. A hair dryer helps remove labels too. Okay, yeah, totally. Warming it up, right? Depending on the kind of label that it is. You know those paper labels, they like tear off. I'm gonna try that with the blow dryer. That's a great one. Totally stumbled across this live on accident. Do you do these often? Love to get info this. Okay, yeah. You know, I do them periodically. I don't really go live probably as much as I should. I should go live with you more because I want to help inspire more people grow more microgreens. But no, this one here, if you're still in here, this is Colt Cannabis. If you're still in here, I'm going to be uploading this to my YouTube channel, and of course it'll be posted on my IG as well. And I put it in a series, so a grow along series. You can watch previous grow along series that I've done. I've done a few, and you know, of course I'd like to do a few, you know, in the future as well. Keep them going. Because the whole point, my whole mission is really to like get you excited to grow microgreens and to start sprouting and add these foods to your diet. Doesn't matter what you eat. If you don't have to be a raw vegan, just eat more sprouts, eat more microgreens. They're going to be amazing. Yes, Diane is saying thank you. I think you've answered this before, but is there a significant difference between microgreens and sprouts? Yes, so there is a difference between the two. The sprout is the initial stage of the germination process of the seed. So after like 3 days, 3 to 5 days, that's a sprout. That's considered a sprout. As soon as the 2 cotyledon leaves come out, unless you're growing like garlic chives, it's like a monocot, it's like a blade of grass. Once those are exposed, then it's starting to grow into a microgreen. And typically it's after about 4 to 5 days after the sprout. Like if you sprout in your jar, right? If you're doing sprouts in your jar, you can see it start, if you keep rinsing and draining every day for like 3, 4, 5 days, you can see them start to grow and they start to get like green leaves in there. So they're starting to grow into microgreen. So the microgreen stage is actually from like day 5 after germination to day anywhere from 10 to 20. Like cilantro microgreens take around 17 to 20 days before you can harvest. But typically, most microgreens are grown from day 5 after they're out of germination to day 10. So we're going to water these. I'll show you how I water them. We're going to stack an empty tray on top and we're going to put some weight on top. Maybe I'll put that gallon of ocean solution on top to add some weight on top. That really helps. And after they come out of germination, they're going to be under the rack for 5 days. Look at these. These are like 4 days under the lights. 4 days. You're harvesting fresh, living foods, delicious microgreens. Now you can create a business if you wanted to do this in your area and sell to supermarkets and restaurants or direct to customer. People want these foods. Maybe they don't have the ambition to grow them themselves, so you can actually set yourself up with a rack like this and start actually selling to places. But yeah, that's the difference between the two. We grow in Florida, have microgreen business, and we use a 10 by 10 grow tent to keep controlled environment. There you go. Boom. It's all about that controlled environment. Some way to control the environment is going to be the most beneficial for your microgreens. The name of the YouTube is Raw Natty Nate. Same as my Instagram name, Raw Natty Nate. Come check me out. I've got daily videos coming out. I still have to get my video up and edited for today for what we eat in a day from the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle. So I really wanted to, both Liz and I really wanted to showcase what we're eating, what recipes we've found inside the bundle, make those recipes and film them for you and make a video showing you the different foods, the different meals and recipes that we're creating from other raw vegan creators. So that video will be coming out today, 5 p.m. PST. I've got another video that's going to be coming out here in about 15 minutes. It's a scheduled video. It's talking about the different common struggles of a raw vegan diet. So check that out. That's a playlist series as well. And really, it's this bundle, the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle. We wanted to really try to get you as excited as we can about how amazing this bundle is. This bundle is just so amazing. It's over $1,800 worth of all brand new products from different creators around the world. And instead of releasing their products and charging full price, we had a bunch of people who wanted to be a part of this, compiled them all into this bundle, and the whole thing is $50, right? My brand new kitchen course, I'm gonna charge $67 for. That's in the bundle. My wife's book, her hand salads book, teaching you how to make wraps, what kind of fillings to put in them, the different sauces to make for them. This book is amazing. That's in the bundle. There's just so much in the bundle. There's interviews, there's yoga courses, there's all kinds of recipe creators that have created books for their own product, but they put them in the bundled them together, $50. You can't beat it. Go to the link in my bio, just tap up top there, which brings you back to my page, and the link is in the bio. That'll take you to the web page. Watch the video and see what this bundle's all about, and maybe this will be something that you want to get into your life, because my gosh, like, you don't have to follow a raw vegan diet to enjoy healthy, delicious, fresh, raw vegan style foods. Stacy, what's up? Okay, so she's saying here, I've decided to try Azuki microgreens as well. I'll report back. Okay, cool, Azuki. So we have Azuki beans that will sprout. I've never actually grown those into microgreens. That would be really cool to hear. We love sprouted Azuki beans. That's definitely one of the beans that we keep in rotation. I appreciate you. I'm getting into alkaline vegan lifestyle. Very good, very good. Yeah, more fresh foods. It's all about more fresh foods, man. Like, more fresh fruits and vegetables, little amounts of nuts and seeds. You're doing good. Nutritionally, do they differ? Thanks. Okay, sprouts and microgreens. Sprouts typically have a bit more nutrition for the weight, I want to say, because basically, like, within this one tiny seed, right? This tiny little seed holds all of the nutrition that the fully mature vegetable or fruit has. So when it's in its sprouted form, all of that nutrients, this is the way that I've understood it. I could be wrong. But the way that I understand it is all of that nutrients is in that tiny little sprout. So as it grows a little taller into a microgreen, it still has an amazing amount of nutrients, but it's concentrated in that sprout because the sprout is trying to grow into the full plant. So typically, sprouts have a little bit denser of a nutrient profile than microgreens. This is from the research that I've done. Like I said, I could be wrong. I don't know. Awesome. Thanks. You're welcome. You're welcome. Let's see here. So happy to see another raw vegan bundle. Yeah, Diane, these raw vegan bundles, they only come around once a year. So, this is the greatest way to get some of the most amazing and simple, from as simple recipes as you can imagine to some of the more complex gourmet style of recipes. It's basically a very low fat, I don't want to say a fat-free bundle, but there's very low fat in these recipes. We don't allow, like, the people that are, going into the bundle aren't allowed to put a lot of fat in their recipes. So that's nice. There's appropriate amounts of fats, right? So these are really delicious recipes. You don't have to worry necessarily about anything besides just going to the grocery store, getting the food and making the recipes. It's so much fun. Gotta go now. Hey, Raw Peach is so awesome that you dropped in. Enjoy the day out there. Thanks for stopping by. What did you say about sprouts having more nutrients than microgreens? Yeah, that's basically what I said. They just, from what I've gathered, sprouts have a bit denser of a nutrient profile than microgreens. Microgreens are still amazing, 20 to, sometimes even, anywhere from 10 to 40 times more. This is from the studies that I've read. I'm not in the lab. I'm not doing the studies myself. These are just things that I read. But anywhere from 10 to 40 times more nutrients in the microgreen than the fully mature counterpart, right? Sprouts can be the same. Just so much nutrients in a sprout or a microgreen. They're really, really great. Okay, let me grab the water. We'll water these and then we'll get them in the germination room. So what I use is I just use this squirt container, right? Now, let me see if I can get this up here and do it for you. You can use any squirt bottle, any mister bottle. I just like this because I pump it up and I don't have to keep squeezing a trigger. I can just pull the trigger. So watch here, we're just gonna go real quick, see if I can get a good angle for you. There we go, that's looking pretty good. Now we're just gonna mist them down. We wanna give them enough water to bring them through the entire germination process without having to touch them. We're not gonna go peek on them, we're not gonna mess with them for basically like 3 days. And then they'll be in blackout for 1 day. Blackout is Let me grab the empty tray here. We're gonna stack this empty tray on top with some weight on it for 3 days. After the 3rd day, it's gonna start pushing that weight up. These little plants will actually start to push, 10 pounds of weight up off. Then I like to flip the tray upside down just to get them to stretch out a little bit. They're still in the dark, but then they can kind of stretch out just for 1 day. Certain crops really do well, like the cabbage, which I was doing a little experiment. I did not black these out, and look at how short they are. But they're getting close, ready to cut. I could start cutting today, but they're not very long. So it's nice to do the blackout for certain crops because certain crops don't really grow very tall. Now, of course, if you want to get my video course, Sprouts, Krauts, and Microgreens, Krauts being sauerkrauts, different fermented foods, I've got a full video course. Send me a DM and I'll send you the link to that course where I go over all these sorts of things in detail. We talk about the rack and the lights. I've also got a YouTube playlist talking about these different things. Just want to try to get, my perspective of this information out to you because this is something I feel that we all should be doing. We really all should be doing this kind of stuff. Okay, so we just watered that one. Let me see, did I miss a question back here? I think I saw something going. Casalandra, hello from Indonesia. Good to see you in here. That's good because sprouts are my fave and so easy to make. Yes, I know. Sprouts are the best way to go in the beginning. They are so easy to do. So why even grow microgreens? Then it wouldn't be easier and better just to eat sprouted instead of going the process of growing microgreens. Yes, it's a very good point. Why not just eat the sprouts? We personally eat sprouts every single day as well. We grow a lot of sprouts, but microgreens look so amazing. And they add so much, there's a different flavor profile there, and it's a different kind of nutrient. And it's just fun. They look beautiful. I love growing them. It's just fun to watch them grow into little plants. You're not eating the seed like you do with a sprout. You're actually eating the seed. So there's a little difference there. I feel like for culinary purposes, microgreens have much more of an aesthetic appeal, right? Like they look amazing. Sprouts look amazing on your food too. Like sprinkle of sprouts on top of a salad or something, but microgreens, they make everything look gourmet. Now, of course, it's not all about looks. The nutritional profile is amazing as well. And I just like to grow food. And it's just a way that I can grow some food right here in our high rise. So, but yes, it's a good point, Casalandra. Why not just eat sprouts? Why even go through any of this process growing microgreens when you could just eat the sprout and the sprout has a little bit more nutrient profile? It's definitely a valid point. I think you just have to want to, right? And I just love growing. I mean, look at these little babies. Sprouts are amazing, but they don't look like that. That is just beautiful. Look at those colors. And the flavor is amazing. We also like to freeze dry or dehydrate the microgreens that we necessarily can't finish, or sometimes we're running low on powder, and we like to grind it up into powder and make microgreen powder to be able to add to smoothies and to different things like banana ice cream, or you can sprinkle it in all kinds of recipes. Basically, a little teaspoon of microgreen powder is like throwing a handful of microgreens in your meals. That's another reason I really like growing microgreens, is we like to make the powder. Okay, let's see here. I also wonder if there's a difference in that microgreens might have more chlorophyll. Man, that is the great, I didn't even think of that. That's exactly, I was thinking I know there's definitely some other reasons. Sometimes it's hard to come up with these things on the spot. That is such a great reason as well. Definitely there's more chlorophyll in microgreens than sprouts, 100%. Good on ya, good catch. I saw a cotton sheet to grow sprouts. Do you know how about those instead of soil? So yeah, you can grow different ways. You don't have to use soil. You can use cotton, or you could use mesh or jute or hemp or burlap sacks. The microgreen just needs somewhere for the root to grab onto. It's just something for the roots to go into, right? So different things like that will work as well, definitely. For me personally, I think that'd be fun for, like just doing one here or there. But as far as like doing them on the level that we do, and we like to grow, we like to keep microgreens on the rack and, add them to everything because, we're raw vegan and we want to have, raw foods and living foods in every meal if we can. That's why we make the powder. So we can put the powder in our wrap recipes and our smoothies and different things like I was saying. But yes, you can definitely grow on different kinds of mediums. You don't need to use soil. That's so cool about freeze drying to make the powder. Isn't that cool? It is so cool. So cool about freeze drying. Yes, it is just so much fun. Yeah, good point. Good point, Castellandra says. So yeah, being able to make your own, like we grow the peas, right? Like look at these peas right here. These are gonna grow like really tall. They're gonna be like that tall in like another 4 to 5 days. And sometimes we'll take half the tray, dry it, grind it up, and we've got basically pea protein powder, right? Like, it's your own pea green powder. You grew it yourself, you know what went into it. That's the best part. All right, let's see. What else here? Oh yeah. I don't know if that's how you say it. They're saying, yeah, because I was wondering the same, but then I knew that each had their purpose. Yes, definitely. That's brilliant. Of course, there's more chlorophyll. Definitely. That's definitely a plus to a microgreen. Not only do they look beautiful, there's more chlorophyll. There's I don't know if there's necessarily a different nutrient profile. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just stacking these two trays on top of each other. And then I'm going to stack this tray on top, an empty tray, right? And what we'll do is we'll put this right here on top as the weight. Look at that. And basically it's going to push this gallon jug up. We're going to put these in the closet and basically let them sit for 3 days, 4 days until they start to push up. Don't even need to take a peek. So there they are right there. I'm going to put these in. All right, so we started some microgreens yesterday, and I can peek in there because it's clear. This is just a recycled container. This is one way I really like to try to inspire people to get growing microgreens, is you don't need any fancy trays or anything. You can do it just in a little recycled container. So look at here, I'm just gonna give them a little bit more water, just a tiny bit, because I think they might dry out a bit quicker in this because this top tray has holes in it. But we're just gonna put that back on top. We'll put that back in the germination room as well. And that's gonna be a fun tray to take a peek into. Yeah, isn't that crazy? They push up the weight. Let me put this back in the germination room and I'll grab the bricks that we use for the 10 by 20 trays. So look at this. This brick, 15-pound brick, we set right on top of the 10 by 20 trays, because as you can see, the black, I like to use the black for the top, right? This stone fits right in here and it will push all of that weight up. Those tiny little plants. It's amazing. So that's when you know they're like, ooh, they're ready to come out of germination. Whoa, I almost dropped this on the floor. That would have sucked. All right, well, that's what we have for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode and we will be back tomorrow. What can we do tomorrow? I'll think of something that we can do tomorrow for the grow along. Maybe what we could do is we could harvest some. I can show you how we harvest and add them to some meals. And I'll put my thinking cap on and think of some other things to do for tomorrow. Maybe we can also go through the rack and kind of look at the setup. You don't have to have a setup like this, but this is really nice because it doesn't take up much space. It's only 18 inches deep. and then it's 4 feet long. And so I really love this rack because basically, look at, we're just growing all of our own food. Well, I shouldn't say all. We're not growing all of our own food. We're growing some on this rack. So cool. Heck yeah. Come on back tomorrow, definitely. Maybe problem solving. That's a great idea. Maybe we can, Zazu, we can go through some different problems that maybe some others are having and try to figure out, how to address some of those questions. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy the rest of the day. I'm going live a couple more times today. So, if you're on Instagram and you see that we're live, pop in. It's always good to see you guys coming in there. And heck yeah, Diane, definitely my pleasure. And be sure to check out the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle. Go to the link in my bio and just grab it. Watch the video and just grab that. You won't be sorry. You're going to be sorry if you miss it because there's amazing stuff in there that you will be able to implement into your life and you'll have it forever. It's so good. You have the best energy, Nate. Oh, thank you, Casalandra. You're always so naturally good vibe energy. Hey, I appreciate you. Enjoy the day, all you guys, wherever you're at. And we will see you tomorrow, 8 a.m. PST, again for day 3 of the Grow Along. Love you guys.